I'd like to welcome Liz Brown, who's the Chief Marketing Officer of Little League International.
I actually began my career more on the agency side. So I really started in events and sponsorship, activation, back when experiential marketing was sort of just being defined. And then kind of grew into more of the consultant side. I worked on a lot of sponsorships where I would consult brands and help them, align their brand with specific sports or lifestyle activities that made the most sense to deliver some kind of mutual benefit. So that was a great sort of framework. When I learned about the role at Little League, it was really focused in the beginning for me on sponsorships and those partnerships that really generate some revenue for the organization. And I really then grew into overseeing kind of the rest of the marketing function, licensing. We have a retail presence both on our complex and online, as well as a museum facility. And then, as I elevated throughout the organization, taking over the communications. And really, I feel like that happened at a very similar time as our organization was aligning marketing and communications in a very holistic 360 way. So it was sort of natural to step into that role and oversee communications as we were building out digital and social and our fan experience with technology and really wrapping all of the communications and marketing sort of under one umbrella. So I've been, in this role for about 4 years now, and I'm able to really, in the last few in particular, really touch our relationship with Major League Baseball. I've worked very much and very closely with ESPN on a lot of the broadcast elements. So it's been an amazing experience to grow as a marketing professional. Almost every day at work, you should be learning something new or learning from someone in the moment. And that, it could be good or bad, but you're always learning. And I think you have to have that mindset and surround yourself with people that are going to teach you in some way. Curiosity and creativity are the two that lately we've landed on as the things that I really like to lean into. I ask a lot of questions in the spirit of trying to find the best solution. And by asking questions, you just start brainstorming and coming up with new ways to do things. So those two, and then, authenticity and compassion and just kind of leaning into knowing people well and bringing your whole self to work and being able to see that big picture are really important to me. In 1 year, we did cancel our Little League World Series event. So we had to figure out ways to still connect with folks and keep our message relevant to our audiences at a year when our largest marketing vehicle, the month of August, July and August, was not available to us. And so we leaned into being as creative as we could with the digital assets we had and footage from past games and things like that. And then last year we did have some of our events, not all of them, but we had limited attendance. So we also had to figure out how to spread the message and create value for our partners and just do some new, unique experiences that we had never done before. We did a virtual fan experience, for example, that we traditionally would do on site that you could walk through and interact with brands and have a kind of an experience. We moved all of that to the online. So a lot of the things that we did, the learning for us is those things stick. Mm-hmm. And we're going to keep doing them in addition to hopefully going back to a lot of the tried and true practices that we did before. So I also think, we're a volunteer-run organization, so re-engaging volunteers, folks like yourself and me who maybe work full-time and, after hours will give of your time to support your child's activities. We need to re-engage that volunteer base because some of them haven't been a part of the program and engage new folks as well and really make them comfortable that coming out of the pandemic, this program is a place to really find some value and give back to the community. I think number one, we find it from each other because we do take the time to try to have humor in our day and try to get to know each other and build off each other. But I also think time away. So I have this one colleague and I love every time he goes to a sporting event because he takes pictures of everything he sees, right? And he'll send back, I can't believe they did this, or maybe we should think of. So again, creating that environment where people are also curious and engaged and thinking about the opportunities when they're not in the office. I think that time away is really, really important. And then the last thing I would say is our program, we're about kids. We are healthy activity. We are kids playing a sport. And so how can that not be inspirational? So a lot of our, like the storytelling we hear from local communities, how people bond together, what life lessons kids are learning through this sport, all of that is amazingly inspirational for us to kind of create and ideate around. But some of the top ones, curiosity and creativity we talked about, but integrity and authenticity and, for compassion. But for me, like just positive spirit, because even just looking back most recently, like being able to remain positive in a time that's so challenging is really important for the folks that work with you, for you, because you want to be seen as supporting them in their roles and making sure that everybody's sort of on the same ship together. So I'm absolutely committed to excellence, but I do think there's a balance there of compassion that has to go along with that in order to achieve the results the team is looking for. We have this one really become a movement. It really started as a digital campaign, and it's evolved into kind of the mantra for our softball and female participation in the program. And it's called Girls with Game. It's in our 4th year, and in the beginning, it really evolved to put a stamp on amplifying female voices in the program. And now we've been able to use it all year long. It was really isolated around Women's History Month in March, which we do continue to kind of elevate, but it's become kind of a rally cry, if you will, for girls to play softball or play baseball, to get involved, and even for females to get involved in volunteering and coaching and some of the other initiatives that we'd like to see. So we're really proud of it, and it's something that's going to have staying power, and it's going to continue with us in the future.